Okay, hello everyone. So today I'm going to be interviewing Kelvin Jumio. He's a cloud specialist in operation working at IBM. And thanks for coming today.
Hi, Tim.
Thank you for coming today.
Yes, no worries.
So let's jump into the question. So what is a cloud specialist?
So a cloud specialist is a very vague term, because specialist has a lot of meanings, and for me, to be honest, like a cloud specialist can mean different things to different people. And how I describe myself is like as a cloud specialist, I focus on the infrastructure side of the operations of cloud. So I focuses, mainly on the operation side of the cloud, and especially in IBM of analytics. That's where a lot of my product is. And being, a cloud specialist, I specifically oversees like the operations of the cloud, from working out the requirements from the customers, delivering the cloud environments, and owning the day-to-day operations of the cloud environment as well. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. So in terms of title, like I go with many names. So some customers knows me as the Cloud Ops, and they called me as the IBM Cloud Ops, and some customer called me as the Cloud Operations Engineer, and some people called me as the Cloud Administrator as well. So like in terms of title, it's very vague, but like I specifically focus. I'm a specialist in that is focused on the operation side of the infrastructure. Yes.
Okay. What is your role and responsibilities?
So as a cloud specialist, one of my main roles and responsibilities is that I oversees a range of IBM analytics product that is being brought into the cloud. So we in IBM, we had this massive movement and migration that we're moving most of the products that is on-prem, moving into the cloud, because like cloud is like a hot space, and like everyone wants to be in the cloud space. So that's why like we're moving it over there, and my main role will be to oversee the operation side of the cloud, and I oversee products such as planning analytics on cloud, tm11 on cloud, CDM on cloud, Console on cloud, and also TQM on cloud. So in terms of product, I oversee a lot of the product as well. So breaking down my roles and responsibilities, I think you can sum it up into a couple of different main points. So a couple of points of my roles is like one of my roles is to ensure that the system is uptime and making sure that those systems are operational at all times. So that is one of my main roles. Yeah. The second role is to deliver the cloud environments, making sure that it's delivered within the customer's requirement. And after that, I have to configure them and owning the day-to-day operations of the cloud until the end of the life cycle. And also, like another part of my role is to respond to high urgency incidents. So in cloud operations, there's always like incidents happening, system failing, virus attack, security breach. There's always like an incident that is being affecting the operation side of the cloud, and I have to respond to that immediately and make sure that those problems are fixed. Again, I have other roles as well, keeping track of the costing of the system, making sure that resources are utilized properly, licenses. We make sure that all of the legalities of the product is there, making sure we count the number of licenses correctly, making sure we charge them and we operate them as well. We also migrate cloud environments, backups, and disaster recovery situations as well. And that's pretty much my roles and responsibilities as a cloud specialist. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, maybe some people don't understand like some of the terms. So can you like briefly explain like what like CDM, what it actually is?
Yeah. So in cloud, like we have a lot of technical terms, and like it's not easy to understand it if you're not really technical. So some of the terms is like CDN. CDN stands for Content Delivery Network. So it's basically a cloud software that allows you to spread contents or information throughout the world. That's just like a CDN. That's one example. And we have a lot of different things as well, such as orchestration server. So orchestration server is like a cloud server that we use to automate tasks. So we have a lot of servers like sometimes even more than 4,000. And to be able to operate them, on a day-to-day basis, we need automation tools, which is why we need orchestration server. So yeah.
Just to like handle all the net servers, like a large amount of servers.
Yes, handle them at the same time.
So it's like a software thing that.
It's not a software. It's like a cloud system.
Oh, cloud system. Okay, that's good. So in IBM, which department or team are you in?
Okay. So my team, in terms of division, I'm part of the IBM Analytics division. So IBM has a lot of division. There is like IBM Cloud, IBM Security, IBM Watson, and to me, I belong to the IBM Analytics section. But in terms of the team, I'm part of the global cloud operations team. So my whole team is actually spread out all over the world because we need to cover cloud operations support by using the follow to the sun model. So that's basically a model saying that at the end of my shift, someone will take over my shift and they will be
just
there.
Just keep working on the progress.
They'll keep working on the progress or the incidents or anything that is going on.
Yeah. Just to make sure it goes on like for 24/7, just non-stop.
Yeah. Making sure that we have coverage and making sure that the operation side of things is not affected.
Okay, sure. What does it like a typical day as a cloud specialist in IBM look like?
I would describe a day to day in my position as very vibrant. Like every day changes. Because I work based on incidents, and sometimes you get A incidents, B incidents, C incidents. It's never the same. But a typical day would be for me is I usually wake up at 8. I get to work at 8.
Yeah.
I turn on my phone. I use this applications. It's called IBM Slack.
Yeah.
Basically, it's an applications that allow you to talk with your other teammates globally, right?
Oh.
Yeah, and basically what I do in the morning is I usually scroll up to the chat or the incidents and making sure that you are aware of these things, of the things that has been happening when I was off hours. I only work 8 hours, right? And then the next 16.
You just pass it to the other team, maybe around the globe, someone else.
Yes, yeah. So in our teams, we have 4 different teams working in 4 different locations. So we have a team in Canada.
So would you say it's really hard to pick up what other team does? Maybe they have different ways to do this stuff? Or?
Yeah. So I think one of the things that I've really found interesting working in IBM is people have different culture.
Yeah.
They behave differently. They interact differently. And sometimes when they write something on the board on the channel. Sometimes you don't really get what they mean because they have different cultural meanings of things. You can't say things too casual because they'll get offended. You can't say things too professional because some people like it casual. So it's
different working culture. Yeah.
But seeing the information, sometimes it can get a bit complex, especially when you're dealing with a large incident. A large incident which is where more than one cloud system is affected, 10 or 20. If that thing is affected, the whole data center, then it's a big incident, and you gotta make sure you read through the notes, making sure what happened,
sure.
who did what, what is being done, what is the issue, how is it being fixed, and
just need to be very careful.
Yes, very careful. Yes.
Okay, so what makes you choose cloud specialists in IBM as your career choice? And does your parent affect your decision in picking this position?
Okay, yeah. Cloud specialist, not my parents, but my auntie has, because my auntie has worked for IBM before. So I know that, IBM is a really big company, and they are really strong in IT. And that's why seeing my auntie work, for 10 years at IBM, it kind of moved me saying that, one day, I want to be I want to try and work.
Work just like an auntie.
Yeah, as in in IBM as well, because she told me about the great things of IBM, and I want to be part of it. That's why I applied for the thing.
Gave you motivation.
Yeah. And in terms of the role, why I picked this one, is because I have a passion in IT, and especially in the cloud industry, I have a passion. So before joining IBM, I was working elsewhere. I was working as a consultant and also as a technical support for a cloud product as well. and that is a point of sale system that works in the cloud. So when I first touch into that, I'm interested in the cloud space because like it's a new thing,
Yep.
and there is so many opportunities in the cloud, and there's so many ways of doing things, and that is not traditional at the moment.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and that's why like I want to pursue this passion. That's why I pick this role and
Yeah,
just
that's
go for it. Yeah.
Very ambitious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So another interesting question. What do you carry in your bag to work every
Okay.
day?
Okay. What do I carry? I have to carry my laptop. I have a MacBook Pro that
Yeah.
IBM supplied. It's IBM owned, IBM configured. So even the operating
Oh.
system is not going to be the same as your normal MacBook.
Normal MacBook,
Yeah.
commercial one.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's an IBM one, and I also have a 4G Telstra modem.
Telstra modem.
Yeah, it's basically like a
Just-
pocket Wi-Fi.
So you can carry around?
Yes.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
right.
Just in case I need to get online.
Yeah,
Really
ASAP.
urgent.
I
Yeah.
see.
Because like I work based on high.
Just always on the go.
Yeah, always on the go, making sure
Yeah.
I have internet access.
I see.
Yeah. Those two, and phone cables. Sometimes I need a VGA cable connected
VGA cable to
to the monitor, right?
Yeah,
to the
monitor,
external
right.
monitor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
so for
and-
meetings, for the meetings.
Meetings. Generally everything is done online, so you
Done
just
online.
need your Mac. But
Oh,
like
I see.
I always carry like a small IBM notebook like this one, just to write
just
things.
to write things.
Yeah.
Alright. It's like kind of like jobs, like to do. how
Yes,
you
yes, like
organize.
tasks to do today. Maybe like you assemble your priorities, or
Oh,
maybe like you
right.
work through the
Yeah.
priorities and that. Yeah.
It's really well organized.
Yeah.
So can you talk us a little bit about your work environment? How does your office look like? How many colleagues is in your workplace? And what are their like background, nationalities? Are they international, or are they like local employees?
So I work in two different offices. So one of my main office is in Pennant Hills, and that is an IBM owned office. And the second part of the week is I usually work like 1 or 2 days at St. Leonard's, IBM St. Leonard's. So that's like another office that IBM owned. And basically, in Pennant Hills and St. Leonard, I have a small cubicle, and like the size is quite big. Like the
quite
table is
big.
quite big. You have your own personal space, and
Yeah.
like you have like a kind of like
Board.
a board on the side, so that you have like a privacy.
Okay.
But like at the back it's still exposed, so that
Oh, like those office building.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So like when your manager wants to check whether you're working or not, they can just go
Oh.
at the back and it's like,
Yeah, I
oh,
see what
Calvin's
you
working,
mean.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Basically, it's like that, and then in the table, like we're usually connected, and
Yeah.
the person next to me is usually the person I'm working with.
Oh, working with.
Yeah, it's like either a team member or like someone that is closely related to me,
Yeah.
and like sometimes we interact. That's why I think it's kind of like structured and positioned that
Structured.
way.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the male to female ratio in IBM? Like people who work in IT, like IT industry in specific?
Yeah. In my team, I think there's about like a 1:8 ratio of male to female.
Oh, 1 to 8.
Sorry,
Very
eight
specific.
male and 1 female.
One female.
Yeah, around
Oh,
about that. So, in IBM, like we really promote like women in engineering, and like I think we really encourage them to apply for this position, especially for women, because like there is, for really technical position as me, I think you can find like there is little female in the working in the space, because
Yeah.
like sometimes work is very technical, and like and
Oh.
sometimes women is not into technical
Technical stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like it's great though, like knowing that IBM offers this kind of position for the women, and like they also coach them as well, and they provide training and upskilling program as well. Like there's an IBM Girl Academy,
Yep.
that teaches
really?
them how to program
That's
as well.
interesting.
Yeah, so IBM is really big promoter of like women in engineering, and like
Yeah.
it's really good to see a good ratio in a
Yeah.
very technical space.
So what are some criteria to hold a position in IBM? Like some personal qualities, how you organize your thing, like some personal qualities.
Okay. How I hold the position. I'm. This is like my personal view on the job, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm a person who likes to be organized. So, usually before I start the work, I list down like a priorities, basically like a list of tasks that I need to do. Like, some are urgent, some are not, and some are like less urgent.
Yeah.
So I organize them, and this organization skills has, taken me to another level, because like, having this kind of organization skills, like it kind of like make you to be always on schedule, making sure that your project and your tasks are completed within deadline, and making sure you don't miss anything that is like really
That's
urgent.
very important. Okay.
So organization skills is one thing. Another thing would be the attitude. You need to show like really like a positive attitude towards work. You work hard. You're enjoying work. Because I personally think that you should work in a position where you're really like try to show leadership as well.
Leadership.
Yeah, leadership.
Yeah, that's important. Working in a team environment.
Yeah, and another thing would be to keep on learning. I think in a way like that is probably like the best. I mean, one of the qualities that you must
in like IT.
Yeah,
you
must
have
in IT. You have to keep on
learning.
Yeah.
So keep up to date.
Yes, definitely.
That's very important. So in the position, because we are doing communication for IT professional,
Yeah.
so we'd definitely like to know more about like how would you rate like the importance of communication with others, like team members.
Yeah. Okay. Communications. I would say that communications would be rated very highly in the IT space as well, and especially in my job. Like I would rate it as 9 out of 10 in terms of importance. Yeah.
So it's not just like self-programming all the time or like self-work. It's always working in a team environment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like communication plays a big important. Plays a big role in my role right now. Because like before I start the day, I need to get the handoffs. For example, like I need to know what's going on previously, right? So I need to talk to them. I need to hold a team meeting if I'm not sure of anything. I need to talk to the managers, and generally like there's a lot of things like in IBM and even in IT. Sometimes there's things that you just don't know and you can't do it.
Yeah.
And that is where like your communication skills will.
That's where it comes into hand. And
Yes.
how it helps you.
Yes.
I see.
So you will like
So yeah.
ask them for help, and how you word yourself, how you communicate yourself in that position, how it depends on how you communicate to them that they're going to help you or not, right? Yeah.
I see.
So it's very important. Yeah. Yes.
So normally who determines like who does the task? Is it the manager or like the team itself organizes like how distribute?
Yeah. So we have two different tasks. One is like a ticket base.
Yeah.
Which is usually started by like a product support team, or like the customer saying that they want to change the memory, or they want to buy more users. So we gotta adjust the resource usage and that. Yeah. So sometimes it's like that tickets, and sometimes it's like a high urgent thing. Yeah. So in terms of that, I usually get assigned tasks. For example, like my cloud manager in North America, he would know my capabilities, and he would assign tasks based on what he thinks is appropriate for my workload. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But aside from that, if something that is urgent came out, like high urgent incidents, I need to work on that first. That kind of like overrides.
So it's more like your self priority that you have to do it.
Yes.
First.
Yes.
I see.
Self priority, making sure that everything has to be done by the end of the day.
Okay.
So it's a very fast-paced
environment.
Yes.
Yes. So what kind of clients in the position does the cloud specialist face?
In terms of clients, like we face are you talking about the roles, or like the type of client, or like which sector do they belong to?
Like in your position, like which type of like clients you face? Like as in like who do you work with, or who do you work for?
Okay.
Yeah.
Clients. In terms of clients, we work with a lot of consultants. So sometimes there's a lot of consultants. Sometimes there's an external consultant, which is for a bank, or like for the aerospace industry as well, and sometimes it's the chemical industry as well. Like there's a lot of consultants, and there's sometimes like we communicate with the sales team as well in terms of clients, like working directly. So Yeah, and also
So you don't directly interact with the clients. You interact with the sales people, and then they interact with the client. So what kind of previous job you did that you think contributed in getting a position as a cloud specialist in IBM?
yeah. So previously, before applying to the role, I was working as a consultant and as technical support person for
Yeah.
a point of sales
System?
point of sale system, point of sale company that works in the cloud as well. So they
Right.
provide like a cloud system for the restaurant. So basically, it's a full-on iPad-based management system for restaurant.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like having that knowledge and like first-hand experience, like knowing what a cloud system looks like, how it behaves, how it interacts, and what it does, puts me, as an advantage in terms of like against the other candidates.
Other candidates, right?
Yeah, to apply for the positions.
Oh.
So yeah, I think experience is really important.
Experience.
Yeah.
So maybe like in because as you said earlier, it has something like the previous work has something revolved with cloud.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah. Cloud. Yeah.
Okay. Ethical issue. So is there like ethical issue that you think cloud specialists may face, like as such as like honesty, or maybe like security, maybe there's some leakage with security, or like something that's to do with public interest that you think ethical issue would cloud specialists would face?
Mm-hmm. In terms of ethical issues, like there's a lot in the IT space, and especially in my role as well. Like because as a person who works in the operation side, I get instant access to their data.
Yeah.
So I can see their data.
So you can see the data.
Yeah, and like it is, I sign in, I sign in a contract with them saying that, I will not disclose this and I will not disclose
Yeah.
it, But then, like in terms of ethical, I could have said something wrong, I could have leaked the information wrongly, and that would be very unethical for me to do. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like there's ethical, there's a lot of unethicalness, and being ethical like in a workplace like really sets you apart from the other people that is working as well, because like if you're very ethical, like you're honest, you held like your integrity in the highest level, people will know you, and like in that way you can climb and like you can work, you pretty
Just
much
building a relationship.
you can build your like really good reputation in
reputation.
workplace,
Okay.
things like honesty as well, it plays a really big
It's a very big concern as a cloud specialist. Cloud specialist is a very important attribute, like a quality.
As a quality, yes.
Yeah.
You need to be ethical in your in your workplace.
Yeah.
Especially if you're handling like a huge responsibilities. You're bearing like data that the worldwide clients has. That is like something big.
That's something big. So mainly, privacy is the ethical issue cloud specialists face.
Privacy and also like honesty as well.
Honesty,
Sometimes like
privacy, honesty.
Yeah, honesty, owning up mistakes, and and basically just
Yeah, these two. Okay. So as you said earlier, a big criteria to hold a position in IBM is always doing learning.
yes.
So what type of learning would you do outside of IBM?
So how I break it down is like there's always two types of learning. So there's a technical learning, which is like learning new programs, learning new technology, learning new concept, learning new architecture, or like learning basically just is more like into the technical side of things,
Technical side of
programming
stuff.
or like advancing your programming skills, those kind of stuff. And there's also like the self-development part that you need to develop as well. So outside of work, I study programming as well. Like on my off work hours, sometimes on the weekend, I just program. I try to write a script, test it whether it's going to work, and that's pretty much how you develop yourself. That's how you constantly learn.
Constantly learn.
Yeah, in regards to new technologies and new programming language as well. Like for example, and especially in the IT space, where technologies are introduced like within like seconds, like. I'm learning Docker, and like and that's like a new technology as well that is just being released. So like, you need to constantly learn.
Keep up to date.
Yes, keep up to date with your skills. Yeah. But and there's one thing in IBM, like as part of like being an IBM employee, we have access to like a worldwide database of books and audiobooks, and
right.
and yeah, and
They
this is
provide the resource as well for you.
yeah.
So-
And this is something that you can do on your own time. So basically, you just need your laptop. You open it up. You have access to like programming classes, books. Personal development classes. It's pretty much like a recorded version, but like you can still upskill yourself that way.
Upskill yourself.
That's how I usually upskill myself. Yeah.
All right. So what are the opportunities for career advancement in this position?
In this position, like how career advancement works in IBM is very unique. Like you can go to many different places because like IBM, basically they have a lot of division. Cloud, security, analytics, Watson. They have commerce and those kind of things. So pretty much you can move into like any division you want to be. So for example, I'm working as a cloud specialist now.
Yep.
And like I could apply internally to be a consultant within like a month, and maybe the next month I want to become project manager. Like the opportunities are endless. Yeah, as long as like you are known for your reputation of work and like you have this specialty.
Yeah.
You can pretty much apply anywhere else like in IBM.
As long as you have like the skills requirements.
Yes, and also like IBM is a big supporter of like working, relocating. So for example, if for example I'm in Australia and I
you
want
could also move to somewhere else too.
yeah,
Or-
and I could
see.
move to United States.
Yeah.
Say for example, I want to live in the United States. I just have to apply for the program, and like I can relocate to US and maybe join part of my team and work there.
Work there.
Yeah, so.
So I would say there's a lot of opportunities for you
Very-
to,
yeah, there's-
to
there's-
change your career. Yeah.
There's
position.
definitely a lot of opportunities. Yes.
So in the future, do you have a career path or do you have any targets that you want to?
What I want is I want to be able to lead a team. So I think like my skills and my experience is in a level where I am well equipped to like lead a team, and that is probably like something that I want to do, like as a thing, because like I think it is challenging, managing a team, resolving the issues together, but like at the same time it could be fun, and like it could bring you to another level as well, in terms of like your personal development as well. So I want to become like a team lead and
Team leader.
Yeah.
Would it be like cloud specialist, like leader, or is it like a different position?
It would be probably the lead from my team.
Yep.
And maybe like I'm leading the team in Australia.
Leading the team.
Yeah.
I see.
And I want to be after that maybe working into a more technical situation where I want to become like the cloud architect.
Oh, architecture.
Yeah.
Oh.
So where I actually architected, like I design architectural design for the cloud things, and making sure that the architecture is as efficient as
like
possible.
Would you say architecture is like the design of the system?
Yes, the design of the system, how data flows, how it's processed.
Yeah, yeah. Because the operation is maybe like just handling like the normal operation of the cloud system.
Yes.
But for the architecture is like when you design this cloud system.
Yes.
Would you
So
say?
operation is more like you're fixing things. If something breaks, you fix it.
All right.
Whereas in architecture, you design
things.
So you change the whole structure, making sure that it's more stable.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So design. Yeah. Okay, we get the meaning. So for the graduates in university to like pursue a career as well in cloud specialists.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for them? Like what anything they can do now to maybe get a job as a cloud specialist in the future?
Yes. Advice. If you can try to get working experience in the cloud industry, definitely just try to apply them.
Yeah.
Even though you have to work part time, because I think it will be worthwhile in the end. Another advice that I would give is to be active in your social communities as well, especially in like joining up UTS social club, maybe like chess club. I'm not saying chess club, but like maybe hip hop club or the Chinese club or the Indonesian club, and making sure that you're
be active.
Yeah, be active, and you participate in that kind of like group,
Alright.
and you show leadership in that kind of group as well. So if you become a treasurer, that will look really nice on your CV.
Right.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah, definitely.
So maybe like communication, because the thing that you said, all like being active, like all involves communication.
Yes.
Like with other people.
Hmm.
So for like when getting a job in cloud area, would you think that like how many percentage would you rate like communication and skills?
Um,
Like
um,
50-50 or
I think it's about 60 to 40. Like communication,
Com-
60%.
right.
But
Communication.
the other will be the technical skills, because you do
Technical
need
skills,
technical
yeah.
skills to do things. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it will be very hard for
So
you.
they definitely look into the communication side.
Yes, yes.
So very last question.
Sure.
How do you see cloud computing in the future? Will you think that the lifespan of this technology is gonna grow, or you think it's gonna have like a negative
Yeah.
decrease?
The lifespan of cloud. I think cloud is a new space, and and that new space is growing.
Yeah.
Like IBM just invested like billions of dollars. They just bought like a data center. It's called IBM SoftLayer. They just bought a new data center because they know that the opportunities in the cloud space is just unlimited.
Yeah.
I think like these days, people want to be able to do things like online, and especially like iCloud, for example. With iCloud you don't even have to carry a USB anymore. Cloud space is definitely is growing very fast. But then
Yeah.
like again, and I don't see it as a space where it's gonna like decrease anytime in the future, especially for the next 5 years. Yeah, and even like if it's going to decrease, there is so many opportunities, and it can tie it up with other technologies as well and spaces. So for example, cloud can integrate with IoT.
Yeah.
So those IoT devices will be operated by the cloud. So like in terms of like having a distributed system, it's going to keep on growing
Keep going.
for the next 5 years at least.
So it's
yeah.
gonna expand.
Definitely
As you see.
big
Okay.
space. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for today, and it's very good head. Thank you for today for coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you
Thank
to
you,
that
Tim, for
answer.
having me.
Okay.